Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Carl.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Before you know it, I'm going to get very philosophical questions. Is there a God? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, brilliant. Okay, so I see we have Fabio with us. Welcome, Fabio.
Hi, I'm here.
Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today, Fabio?
I'm good. I'm good. And how's everyone else?
I think everyone has been bragging about how great they're doing. Just a braggadocious group.
Mm.
I'm hoping to break some spirits today. I'm gonna try and bring you guys down a bit. Depression. No, I'm kidding. Just messing around. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. We'll just let's see if anyone else will join. Okay, so while we wait for a few more of our colleagues to join it, if they are or if they will, I'm going to introduce you to myself. I'll talk a bit about Eileen. I don't know if Eileen will be able to, come in and introduce herself. But my name is Carl Tischlauser. I am the head of academics at the Information RIMS Group. I am obsessed with learning. I love it. I love it so much. I am currently doing a master's, and so I know what it feels like to be a student. I'm at the tail end of it. Yes, I like to brag about that. I've been telling everyone I'm nearly done. Yeah, I really love academics. I love everything about learning, and I love creating people, creating that desire in others. I want everyone to feel the same way I feel about education, and I want you to see with the worth and the value in it, and that it can be a life-changing experience. It can be all you want it to be, as long as you're leaning into it and you're not leaning away from it. And I'm going to speak about this concept of leaning into learning a lot today. So you'll hear me say, lean in, don't lean away. What happens too often is people come into a class session, and not so much in the online context, but they do this all too often. They'll come in and they'll say, I'm going to be the person in the background. I'm going to sit in the back of the class. We'll answer the least amount of questions. But you're just doing yourself a disservice. Okay. I want you to come on in and I want you to lean into the experience. This learning experience is only as great as you make it to be. And yes, it's going to be challenging for both you, the facilitator, me, everyone involved in the process is going to have a hard time. And that's the whole point, is you're supposed to challenge yourself. We don't grow if you stay in a corner and you're comfortable. Being comfortable doesn't mean growth. Growth means when you're in a corner, you have 3 deadlines in a week, and somehow at the end of the week, you were able to pull it off. So I want you to be miracle performers. I want you to lean into the learning. Okay, I see we have Nicolette with us. Welcome, Nicolette. I just want to hear your voice. I want to make sure
Oh,
you're
hi
not
there.
an AI bot.
I wish I was.
Yeah, me too. I could answer some very difficult questions with ease. Okay, cool. Don't we all wish we had like a GPT chip just implanted in our brains and it's just feeding you with information the whole time? Be great. Okay, welcome, Nicolette.
Thank
Nice
you.
to nice to know that you're human.
Sorry, I was a few minutes late.
No, it's okay. You'll be forgiven. Next time we will penalize and punish. Okay.
Okay, noted.
Cool. Great, great. Okay, so I think this is what we're going to get in terms of attendance. So I'm going to commence with the induction session. Um, okay, and I think we've had a few questions. We've dealt with them. I'll deal with questions as we go along. If you do have a question, feel free to interrupt me, or even raise your hand. If I don't like you, which does happen sometimes, I might ignore you, but we'll see how the day goes. Okay, cool. So this is for contact center management level 4. And my name is Carl Tischlauser. Don't be too caught up with the surname. The surname is quite tricky to spell. It means table maker, but I'll tell you the honest truth. I've broken more tables than what I've made. So yeah, it's a challenge. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. Oh, before I go to the next slide, Eileen, are you able to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am, Carl. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
please do
Well,
that.
good afternoon, everybody. I am Eileen Gelderbloem, and I know my name is a tongue twister both in spelling and pronunciation, so I'm going to put you out of your misery. My name is spelled Eilleen, and I always say just think of Einstein or Eisbein. The E is silent, and it's really just for decoration, so you don't say the E, you just read it from the I. I'm Eileen, like I say, I have been in the call center industry probably for the greater part of 25 years of my career. and I'm absolutely passionate about people development and the art of selling. I believe it to be extremely magical to combine the two and to be able to help people to understand how to use their superpower, which is their voice, their wit, and their creativity, to be able to convince somebody, to take a product or to help somebody when in distress in a customer service situation and just calm somebody down. And so I'm very passionate about, combining the art of selling as well as people development and showing you what you're capable of and unleashing your potential. I look forward to working with all of you. I look forward to seeing your name in blinking lights. But most importantly, I look forward to us learning together, growing together, and expanding ideas together, because I live by a philosophy that says knowledge is not power, but the use of knowledge is. And so the sooner we put our knowledge to good use, the better we can become and the better the world can become. So good luck, everybody. And I'm very excited to be on this journey with you.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. That was beautiful. Well said. I couldn't have read it better for you. So Eileen is going to be your main facilitator, your number one, your go-to, your support. Okay, there will be situations where I will assist, where necessary, but I'm literally going to be a background player. So I form part of the support at the back end. So you guys will be using Google Classrooms to complete this program, especially for the online learners. You use the Google Classroom platform, and I assist with that, all of the technicalities in that space. But Eileen will be the voice and the face at the front, and she'll bring her expertise. As she's mentioned, she's got a wealth of knowledge in the space of contact center management and also selling. The art of selling. She knows quite a bit. So you're in good hands. You will do very well with her guidance, with the support, and her mentorship through the process. Okay, so with that being said, I want to just share a little bit of an introduction from some of our colleagues here today so that we know who we're talking to. I know we've heard voices, but maybe you can, tell us your name. Yeah, I know we have it on the screen, but also tell us a bit about yourself. You can tell me anything interesting that you think is worth sharing. Don't be shy. We'll only judge you when we're offline, once the session is done. Okay, but it's not going to be live judgment. So it's only after, when I watch the recording or other people watch recordings. So does anyone want to go first? I can see a lot of hands are going up. Okay, so let's hear from the person who joined the latest. I think it was Nicolette. You can take us off with that one. You don't have to share anything too personal. You just introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Okay. Sure, Cole. Okay, I feel like you're picking on me, but it's fine. Okay, I'm Nicolette. Something interesting about me, other than me working at TransUnion, I work on the US side. I'm a team lead there. I have about 8 people that I manage. I have over, I would say, 15 years experience with working in the US space and UK space. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. Well, all markets, actually, if you think about it. I did New Zealand as well as the East and what's the other? Australia. Yep. And another interesting fact is my husband and I recently opened up a sports bar, and it's a lot of hard work. Just letting everyone know.
Of course, yeah. All I heard is that you work hard, but you drink even more. So that sounds good. Yeah, that's great. You know what, Nicolette, I thought you were going to share something embarrassing, and yeah, you are just bragging about all these things you've got going. That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I don't even drink, thank you. But I'm
Me
not
too.
bragging.
Me too. I like to pretend that I do, but just because it amuses others. But that's brilliant. Thank you so much. I think I can just give me a second. I just want to set up my. Okay, there we go. Some confetti just to celebrate that. Welcome. We're happy to have you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Cole.
can we hear from Fabio?
Okay, hi, I'm Fabio. I'm in the telesales department as a team leader there. What else can I say about myself?
No
I
pressure.
really don't know.
I love how
I
I'm in
really don't know
silence.
what else to say about myself.
I'm leaving you to deal with this on your own. You don't own a sports bar or anything exciting like that?
No, 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 no.
Ah,
No
damn.
sports father side.
Okay, no, that's good. Have you done any other learning before? Any other qualifications?
Yes, I did business science,
Oh, wow.
economics and
Okay,
business science. Yes.
that's brilliant. And how did you find it?
I found it good, but however, I didn't finish everything due to COVID and not working and things like that. But yeah, I was planning on continuing this year. However, I'll continue next year once I'm finished with this.
Okay. Okay, as long as you don't, just you don't avoid it, like get it done.
Yes,
Okay.
I will get it done.
No, that sounds good. Thank you, Fabio. I'm gonna give you some confetti. Welcome to our program. Pontle,
Thank you.
can we hear from you? Ponte is sharing a lot of love, a lot of hearts. I think they're just for me. It's such a flirt. We'll take it offline. No, I'm joking.
That's a good one. Thank you for
Thank you.
easing it in for me because I'm very nervous. But yeah. So I'm Buntle. I've been in the customer operations space since 2005. And I've been in leadership since 2006. So I always make a corny joke to say, don't calculate how old am I? I'm very old. That's a corny joke that I throw.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I've been with TransUnion since 2021. I'm currently a senior lead in the USA space. I help manage USA, Canada, as well as Costa Rica. I have quite a few certificates that I did and programs that I've done, one being contact center management for 2 years with Gibbs. And I've also done management uh, diploma as well, and I have an IT diploma which I never use. I
Yeah.
did that in 2001. I've never used it basically. Currently, I just registered to do my degree. I'm on my second year. I'm doing risk management with Menkosa. Very excited about that. Looking forward to see what it has in store for me. A little bit of a fun fact for me. I love Formula One. I
Huh?
love cars. I love anything that has to do with cars. I love going to car shows. I know a lot of people will be like, girl, you don't look like that. But yeah, I love cars, you know. And also I enjoy a good book. Currently I'm reading a little bit of romantic novels because I'm a little bit tired of reading self-help books because I've read Your Seven Habits of Highly Efficient People by Stephen Covey. I've read How to Win Friends Over by Dale Carnegie, but currently I'm reading something very soft, Colleen Hoover. It Ends With Us. And I
Okay.
hear there's a movie coming out in July. So really I'm looking forward to see how they interpret the book into a movie. Really excited about that. And yeah, I'm a house buddy, man. I always say if I had good friends who could take me out, I would, but I'm always home, you know, and don't know what to do with myself. So I immerse myself in reading, and I was watching Formula One over the weekend. So I'm looking forward to the next race. And the people that I like never win. So I hate that. So yeah, that's me in a
That's
nutshell.
brilliant, Bontle. Like, I feel like I know you a lot better now. I feel like we've been best friends for 12 years. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
brilliant.
goodness, that would be
Um,
nice.
yeah, no, I'm a great friend to
I
have. I
just
don't
want
know.
to interrupt and say, Formula One fan, there's a McLaren fan in the house, so we need to swap some war stories. Who do you support, Buntle?
Uh,
Are you a
Mercedes.
Ferrari fan?
No, Mercedes lately. I
Oh
used to be a
no,
Ferrari
enemy
fan
number
for the
one.
longest time, right?
I'm a
But
huge McLaren fan. It has always been since David Coulthard's days. So we need to
yes,
talk.
I hate him. I hate him.
No, please. Everybody was a Shumi fan. We were rooting for the underdogs.
Yes, we were. Actually, I was as well. I know this weekend I was, but yeah, I'm a Mercedes fan lately.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
McLaren and Mercedes are brother and sister, so
Yes.
got a lot in
Yes.
Basically.
common.
Yes.
Just finds Lewis Hamilton attractive, that's why. But he is a good racer.
Oh, he is.
I
Yes,
didn't want to
I
mention.
see. I see that. Absolutely. We only
Nicole.
watch for the hot guys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies.
Okay, we're gonna go on and
Let's
on about Lewis
We
Hamilton. Let
will.
me switch off my mic.
let's nip that in the bud, you know? I mean, if we're not talking about how good looking I am, I have to stop you.
Sorry, Carl.
Okay, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's brilliant. So we're already bonding over Formula One. That's great. Yeah, and we also, I feel like less of a man because I don't really watch anything sports. Like, I'm afraid I get hurt watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep going. So, can I hear from Lizzie? Thank you, Ponte. That was brilliant. I forgot to give you confetti. Welcome to our program, Lizzie. The
Okay.
floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lizzie. I'm currently a lead in the credentialing and memberships department. I studied project management and business management. Business management, it was just for the love of money, thinking that, I'll start my own business and make money. But after I've learned, I thought that I saw that, no, it's not all about that money and all that. And a fun fact about me is that I love hiking, but there's a catch with hiking. I always find the closest detour. If hiking is 10 kilometers, I always find a detour and end up like hiking for 2 kilometers instead of 10. And I love singing. I think I can sing, but my kids always say, Mom, please don't sing in public. So
Oh.
that's something that, even dancing, I think I can dance, but my kids think otherwise, that no, Mom, don't dance in public. Yeah.
That's why we
Yeah.
love kids. They're very good at breaking your confidence.
Yeah, and being honest as well.
Very honest. Very
Yeah.
honest. Yeah. Brilliant. I love that. I love that you know all the shortcuts to the hikes. I might be calling you on the weekend, when I'm stuck out there, in the hot sun trying to find my way home. I'll keep your number on speed dial. That's brilliant. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you.
All right.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I did the BCom in business management. So I also was hoping to start a business, but I realized that it's easier at the opposite end.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You made the right decision. Okay,
All right.
let's keep moving on. Redani, you're with us. Can we hear from you?
Hi, everyone. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit here because I'm supposed to just be a wallflower and just be in here to introduce everyone and then sneak away. But this was an interesting conversation, so I stuck around a little. Okay, I'm Rendani. I am 6 weeks in TransUnion. I am part of, complete newbie. So I joined as a learner support lead and basically supporting all learnership from an administration perspective. But yes, that's me in a nutshell. Do we want to go down my lovely learning background?
You don't have to, not necessarily.
Okay.
Just tell me, one interesting fact about yourself.
Oh, I stress bake. Oh,
You
that's
stress
easy.
bake.
I stress bake.
Okay.
So if you walk into my house and it smells like fresh scones, just know,
I'm stressed.
yeah, there's a lot happening.
It's been a tough day at the office.
Yeah.
I get that.
So
I
cookies are not a
accept
good
it.
thing.
Okay, now, well, we're happy to have you. 6 weeks.
Okay.
How do we celebrate 8 weeks? That's 2 months. What are we doing?
Sure. And the
I
weird
think
thing is I
everyone's
haven't
meeting at the sports bar for drinks, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Thank you. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Perfect.
Drinks on the
Nicolette.
house.
Yeah, drinks on Nicolette.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Rendani.
Thank.
Happy to
Bye,
have you. I'm
everyone.
glad that you'll be supporting our learners. That will be great. Okay, let's hear from. I'm going to give you confetti anyway because you shared with us, Rendani. It's
Thank you.
not an official welcome to the program. It's just a general welcome,
Oh, thanks. Small victories,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Small victories.
Cool.
Brilliant. Okay, let's hear from Pinky.
Hi, everyone. Afternoon. My name
Pinky,
is Pinky. Can you
I
hear me?
Yeah, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
What is your favorite color?
Black.
Ah, okay, no, sorry, the floor is yours.
All
I had
right.
to.
I joined TransUnion about a year ago. I'm also still a newbie, fairly new. I'm a team lead, managing 5 associates at the moment. And fun fact about me is that I love cooking. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So we have drinks, we have baking, we have cooking. We're ticking all the boxes today. My weekend, and we're also going to go for a hike, to kill off all the calories from all this eating.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so welcome, Pinky. I'm happy to have you. Yeah.
Thank
We'll give you some celebrate. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Noktula, can I please hear from you?
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Noktula. You can call me Tuli, makes it easy. I have 14 years experience in the contact center industry. Started my journey in 2008 as an agent for 2 years, then moved to management. Just got promoted April this year from being an associate lead to being a lead. So now I am a lead. Thank you to my hard work. I'm leading a team of 14, two Canadian associate, and then 10 South African associate and 2 learners. I've moved from voice to chat, started the new department, learned a whole new skill, which is that's good for me, a new exposure, and I'm enjoying it. Fun fact about me, I love politics. We stay in a country where politics is our life, it's crazy. I'm enjoying every moment. I slouch on my couch, I watch Channel 408 Parliament all the time. That's where I get my jobs.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. See, the thing about me, I personally avoid politics. I'm afraid of being depressed all the time. But I do think that if I need, information about politics, if I need to know something, I'm going to reach out to you, because if you watch it, you're into it, that's great. Yeah, so that's brilliant. Thank you, Noktula. I like that. And you know what I'm hearing from the group? Let me just give you some confetti. We're happy to have you here. What I'm hearing from the group is we have a great mix of experienced people and then also some younger, newer people. So what we must do is just make sure that we are, if you have experience, if you have knowledge about something that's specific to TransUnion, please don't be shy about it. As long as you're not violating any kind of secrets of your trade, you're welcome to share and discuss it in the classroom sessions. Okay, make sure that you share your learnings, that you're not shy about it, you're not withholding, because something that you share might provide someone else with immense insight, into their day-to-day work, into the challenges they're dealing with. Okay, so thank you everyone for introducing yourself. Thank you for sharing a bit like that. I was only going to do a few people, but you're all so interesting that I had to hear from each and every one of you. Okay, so I'm gonna kickstart now. I can finally go to the next slide. And I always kickstart these. Okay, Rendani, yes, you're welcome to hop off. I know that you're just here to support. If you can just make sure that our colleagues that are not present do get the recording, then then I'll be all happy. Okay. Perfect, perfect. I see a thumbs up. Okay, so I always kickstart these learning journeys off with this same quote, and I believe in this quote. I live and breathe it every single day. But it basically says, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." And this was quoted as being said by Malcolm X. And Malcolm X was a very wise individual. He had shared many wisdoms, many important beliefs, but he had the strong belief that education is of the utmost importance. And that's what we're doing today. Is we're not just trying to do a course in contact center management. No, we're preparing for the future. We're preparing for tomorrow. We want to make sure that we are the most upskilled individuals, that we are the best we can possibly be. And the only way you can be the best possible version of yourself is if you're continuously improving and refining and enhancing the skills that you have. So yes, the course might share information that you know, but are you applying it effectively? Are you taking it and using it within your team management? Are you using it within the contact center space? That's what we're trying to do. We want to improve ourselves so that we are ready for the tomorrow that is presenting itself slowly as each day passes. And we have to deal with a new context that's emerging in the space of contact center management. We're dealing with the emergence or introduction of AI technologies into these spaces. And we need to find ways to deal with it, to use it in an effective manner. So this quote speaks to that. This quote speaks to being prepared for that future and using education as a tool for that preparedness. Okay, I see that we have a new attendee, Leanne Saunders. Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you want to just introduce yourself? No pressure, just to tell us something very personal.
My name is Leanne Saunders. I'm a team leader at TransUnion Contact Center in the consumer space.
Okay.
Nothing personal to share, just a mom of four
Okay.
Headache kids.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. So you not only manage a team at work, you manage a team at home.
A whole team at home.
I like that. I like that. I'll teach you some team management models. You know, you can help you manage
Awesome.
this. Yeah, we got you.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
brilliant. So welcome, welcome. Just some confetti for you. I wonder if the, there we go. Oh, sorry, my audio wasn't showing. So when I hit the confetti, it also has a sound effect. So my apologies. Now you don't, yes, it would have sounded like this if I said it properly.
Oh,
Okay.
that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Okay, so let me keep going. So I want to just talk about a bit more about the Information Rims organization, which is the training provider. So our company, our mission is to deliver top-tier education globally, empowering individuals for success and the knowledge economy. And yes, we do operate in the knowledge economy. We are not only facilitators and coordinators, but we're also students ourselves. We continue to learn. We continue to present research papers and do studies on interesting topics. And we don't just operate in the South African context. We have operated outside of the South African context. We've done quite a bit of work. And our role is to become more prominent in the global space. Our role is to become more known. And right now, our brand and the knowledge about the Information Rims organization is not where it should be, but we are working on it. We're continuously building and improving the knowledge about this organization. And you'll see that the work that we do, I think we do very good work. I think I'm very proud of what we've been able to do. We've been around for quite some time. I think since 2004, we've been operational. And we've just been pushing. And my goal, since I've been working with the Information Rims organization, is to push the brand forward and to make sure that each and every student speaks about the product, speaks about organization highly. And I want people to go home and say, yeah, I'm doing a course with the ROG. And then everyone should say, oh, ROG, wow, that's good. You know, it must be one of those things. So that's what our mission is, and that's what we're working towards. Okay. Our vision is to lead in shaping the future of education, setting the standards for excellence in private higher education. And again, we're looking at a larger scale. We've made it big because we dream big. We are big dreamers. And yeah, we do this by making sure that we provide you with the best possible service, with the best possible experience. We also look at providing you with lecturers who know what they're talking about. We provide you with expertise in the discussions that you have. And then also I add my own little bit of a touch on that. You know, I try to introduce a little bit of humor. I like to keep it light. I like to keep it moving. So I'm sure you've picked up on that. I started with jokes, right from the outset, but that's how we roll. That's how we like to do it. Okay, our aim is to remain at the forefront of the knowledge economy and to ensure that education is cutting edge and globally relevant. You'll see that we use a wide array of tools and technologies to deliver the program. I'm sure you're gonna see that we use Google Classrooms, but we use Microsoft Teams. And I'm sure you're wondering, Carl, why do we use these two opposite platforms? Why don't you just put it all on one? The reason why we don't put it on one is because we want students to be comfortable with different platforms. We want you to know how to use Teams. We want you to know that there is Google Meets, there is Google Classrooms, and you must know how to use and operate these technologies, because that is the space we're moving to. And I know that South Africa doesn't always move with the trend as fast as other countries, a lot of the first world countries, but we do try, and we are pushing. We're pushing the narrative. I mean, South Africa is quite advanced in comparison to a lot of our other African counterparts. So we must take advantage of it. We must use it to ensure that we are, at the forefront, leading the continent. Okay. I just want to see that seems like there's a comment in the chat. Okay, cool. So just previous comments. I've seen them. Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep going. So just wanted to talk a bit more about contact center management and formally welcome all of you to the program. Okay, I hope that you're ready to dive into the world of contact center management. Throughout this program, we will be exploring essential concepts, best practices in managing contact centers. Okay, and I'm going to look at introducing concepts that don't just fall into the space of contact center management, but I will also introduce new concepts, new models, and I want you to learn how to take these models and apply them in a transdisciplinary approach. So what I'm saying is, can you take a model that was developed in manufacturing and apply it in contact center management? If it's valid, if it's applicable, if it works, then I'd highly recommend that you do so. And that's the kind of narrative I want to push. That's what I want you to learn about new tools and think about how you can adjust those models, those tools to better suit your organization and your needs within the organization. I'm not saying go out and change or reinvent the wheel. I'm saying let's see what exists and what can we use to better build and better improve our current situation. Okay. I want us to also learn about the latest trends, technology shaping the industry. Okay, we must know, we must be relevant. We must know what's the next big thing, and you must know how to use the next big thing. So it's going to require a little bit of research from you. Don't assume that your facilitator knows everything, because as a facilitator myself, I hate it when students expect me to have all the answers for everything. That seldomly happens. Okay, I know quite a bit, but I don't know everything, and it's perfectly fine. That I don't know everything. And the learning process needs to be an exchange between the facilitator and the learner. The learner gives information to the facilitator gives information to the learner. It goes back and forth. It's a beautiful thing. We learn from each other. And in the process, you build a portfolio that demonstrates your competency in the space of contact center management. Okay. The next was to participate in interactive sessions designed to enhance your skills and knowledge. So these things, as I said when we started, this experience is only as good as you make it. So if you're ready to ask questions, if you're ready to share your knowledge, share your wisdoms, then you'll get the most out of it. But if you're going to hop on the session, walk away from the computer, and then depend on the recording later, then you're only going to get half of it. You're not going to get the real experience, and that's a problem. I mean, yes, you'll get the certificate, but your certificate won't mean as much as it would have if you were fully committed to the program. Okay, and when you start working on assignments, I want to encourage you to develop a little bit of an ethic or an approach, a study habit or study ethic. I want you to challenge yourself in the duration of this course. Instead of waiting for the due date before you start working on the assignments, try and do an hour a day on the assignment. You don't have to finish it, within an hour. Just do 1 or 2 questions. And you don't even have to work the full hour. Just do 1 or 2 questions, hop off, come back tomorrow. Another question, hop off, come back tomorrow. I promise you, what you'll see will happen is you'll develop a habit or a routine. And that routine is going to help you not just only in this qualification, but in other programs and other academic endeavors. One of the approaches that I used with my master's, and it served me very well, is I did the hour-a-day studies. And I fit it into my routine, which includes a lot of resting, relaxing, also a lot of work. But I did an hour a day. And as a result, I was able to improve my marks. The lowest result I got on the master's program was a 71%. Okay, the highest result I got was 100%. So and I used to be an average student. I mean, I was an average of 68% before that. I did calculations on the honors and also on the BCom. But for the masters, I was able to push myself. And I think my average on the masters is an 80%. So what I want you to do is I want you to find out what your study habit is, what works for you. If it's 20 minutes a day, do the 20 minutes a day, build that routine, get into it so that when you're done with this program, you can move on to the next one. And I want you to already be thinking about the next one, because it's an academic journey. It doesn't stop with this qualification. It must keep going. We're human beings. We're built to continuously learn and grow and develop. If you've stopped learning, stopped growing, stopped developing, honestly, I don't know how to say this nicely, but I feel bad for you, because you're missing out on the wealth of knowledge that the world constantly gives us. And it's a beautiful thing. You constantly grow and emerge and come out better at the other side of it. So I want you to challenge yourself in the duration of this course. I want you to find your 20 minutes, an hour a day, work on the question, see how quickly you can get it done. Don't rush through it, but just, try different things to see what works best for your study habits or your learning behaviors. Most people would see there's a due date and then wait until the weekend before the due date and then start pushing an assignment. That's the general approach. Let's not do that. Let's not do what everyone else is doing. Okay. Our goal is to provide you with valuable insights and growth opportunities. So if you're not capitalizing, if you're not doing everything from your end to grow and develop, then, as I said, you'll get the qualification at the end, but you won't get the most out of the program. You won't have this a wealth of wisdoms and knowledge to carry forward with you going into other spaces in the contact center management space. You will lose out on the entire purpose of the program. The program is to, yes, build a profile and to learn a little bit more about contact center management, but it's also about to grow and develop as individuals. And if you're leaning away from it, what are we doing? Why are we wasting our time? Okay, I want to encourage you to take this opportunity to learn a bit more about yourself, to learn more about how you learn, how you process information, learn about your epistemology, learn about how you take information in, how you manage information, learn about your learning style and what works best for you. Okay, I know that also setting aside that 20 minutes a day might be a challenge, but just try, try something. If it doesn't work, then set aside a Saturday, or Sunday. At some point, I couldn't do an hour every day, and I decided that Sundays are our study days, and that's what I did. So yeah, I might go sit at a bar, a sports bar, and then do my assignments. But if that's what you need to do, then do it, Yeah, so that's basically the introduction to this contact center management program. And I want to emphasize the point that, we should learn, we should share, and we should inspire each other as we go through this exciting journey. And yes, it is a very exciting journey. I hope that you can really lean into it and get the most out of it. Okay, let me keep going. Okay, so on this slide, I just had some important functions that exist in the space of contact center management. And you'll see that we'll touch on these topics as we go through the course and the material. You also see that a lot of the concepts are found in other spaces, in other areas of expertise. So the first one is customer interaction management, so how we interact with customers. There are so many different models and tools and principles that we can apply in the space that it's so vast that, again, when we develop the material, we try to make sure that it's almost open-ended so that you can go out and find your own models, your own tools that you think would best suit your organization or best suit the needs of your department. Okay, then we have performance monitoring and reporting. That this speaks to what does it speak to? Does anyone know what I'm referring to when I say performance monitoring? How do we performance monitor? What is the key word I'm looking for? It's actually 3 words. It's an acronym. Any ideas?
KPI.
Yes, 100% correct. I have confetti. I don't know what else I have. I can blur the screen a little, yeah. No, well done. Yeah. So definitely KPIs, and that's what we use to manage performance. And how do we report on that? We can you can develop many different reports. You can submit a 50-page report that speaks to one individual's KPI. But is it of any value if we're not really using it? That's key conversations, key topics to talk about. Okay. The next one is quality assurance. What is the biggest challenge with management of quality in most organizations? Does anyone have an idea? What do we think? Any ideas? I want to see it. I know that Sounders came in, Leanne came in quite strongly with the KPI, so I won't pressurize. Pinky, what do you think the biggest challenge with quality assurance is in organizations? Okay, I see Pinky's not with us. That's all right. Okay. Let's see, maybe Bontle can assist.
I think sometimes they are not aligned with our SOPs, meaning our standard operation procedures, because we might have changed it and they still have the older format. And usually we fight with QA. I hope nobody's from QA from here.
Oh, I see. That's why we're not getting answers. People are afraid they're making enemies. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for. So we don't benchmark it properly, we don't measure it properly. And sometimes in some organizations, quality could be very subjective. The measures could be subjective. It doesn't fully cover what we're trying to measure. Okay, and then also we deal with these interesting phenomena that occur. So if you took call center clients that you've called and you've provided them with a survey at the end, sometimes they just answer to get it done with. So you're not really getting any real insight. You're getting a response that has been provided so they can move on with their lives. And these are phenomena that do occur in data collection and quality assurance. I want to have discussions about this. I want to talk about how we can overcome these challenges. Okay. Then we have workforce management. So workforce management speaks to how we're managing our organization, how we're managing the employees. And it could again come back to team management. Are we using our team members effectively, efficiently, or are we wasting time with them? I've seen in some organizations you have individuals that have a very specific set of skills and capabilities, and then they get put in a situation where they're required to do something that's outside of that space, which is great. It allows them to grow, develop, and learn a bit more. But in a situation where it's timed, it's there's deadlines, there's a pressure point, that's not a good time to be learning how to do anything. So you don't want to do that. Rather have that individual focus on what they're good on and get another individual that is better at doing that particular task. And then there'll be many different debates about, how do we assign when we are limited with staff members. Again, there's a lot of discussions to be had around that space. Okay, the next one is training and development. There's so much more training to be done, so much more learning to do, developing. With the introduction of AI into the workforce, we have new challenges, we have new tools, new things to learn about. In the space of like management of crime and fraud and all of that, AI is going to be a big problem. And I hope you guys are worried about it because it is a real concern. How are we going to overcome that? We even have the development of what is it, narrative AI, where you have the voice prompts and all of that. That's going to be a problem, and how are we going to overcome that? We don't know yet. It's a very new space. It's an emergent space. If you look at the conniving framework, that it's one of those spaces on the conniving framework talks to the space of uncertainty or emergent practices. Okay, then we have customer feedback and complaints management. So how do we deal with the complaints? How do we deal with the compliments? Can I ask you guys a question? How often do you guys go through the compliments that you guys receive from your clients? Is there any way that you can see those compliments?
Can I go, Cole?
Yeah, please. It's open to
Cole.
anyone.
Well, in our space, in our department, if a consumer wants to give a compliment, they would say that they would like to, and they would then ask to, well, the representative would transfer the call to a senior, and the senior would record it. So we have a sort of a manual process for that.
Okay.
But it's good to know because you really have an accurate view, I'd say, on who's really like sort of getting those compliments versus the CSAT scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do go through it from time to time, but it's really sometimes it doesn't even pertain to our department because it was someone else that had transferred the call to us. So the consumer is maybe basing their whole experience on how everything started, you know.
I
But
see.
that's how we do it in our space. But it works. People like it because it's like, for example, you may have gotten 5 compliments, um, and in our space it's kind of difficult because we're more of a compliance team.
I see.
So
I see.
it's right or wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing, So it's
More
nice.
complaints than compliments in
Yes,
the compliance space.
exactly.
Yeah.
True.
And you get
So
the calls and you're like, when are they going to compliment my team? Give me something.
yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Yeah, I think that if you do it that way, how much of that goes to marketing? Are we marketing the compliments enough? What do you think?
I don't think so. Not enough. And I would say that I think that the because of the different work frames that we have. I don't know. I just speak for my own from my own experience here. Um, it's just handled differently. You know, I think as South Africans, the culture in terms of incentives and celebrating that kind of um, customer customer service, the experience, the thrill of it all, how it just brings everything together. It's more celebrated on our front,
Mm,
but I tend to feel that in the different spaces, it's not seen quite the same, you know. For example, we also have a tool where we could use where we have like a feedback tool we on Workday. So we can
mm,
say, oh, I can give Bontle like a compliment and say, oh, I can give her feedback there. She did really well with something, or but it's who's really going to see it? No one, unless I'm going in there and I'm gonna go have a look. But it's not visible. It's not like out there and celebrated like that and on display for everyone to sort of see, you
mm.
know.
I see
Um,
what you're saying. So
yeah,
what we do on one of our programs, and I'm trying to bring this, bring it into all programs. It's a problem because it takes a lot of work to set up. But what I do is when we reach a certain milestone in a program, so we finish a module, let's say, I put top performers on the Google Classroom platform as like a post, and it says these are the top performers for the group. And that gets a lot of comments and compliments. Everyone in the class gets to see who the top performers are. And
mm,
just to show them off a little, that I think that's what you want in your organization. For this department, this is a top performer. We should show them off.
yes, absolutely. I mean, I do it with my team all
Mm,
the time. Um, and again, there's a lot of other things that we can improve as a whole, within I would say GCC and well, we GCC and TransUnion, but yeah, there's always room for improvement and
I
change and
agree.
growth and all of those things, and it will come, I do feel. But like specifically for me, because we are in that space, it is very difficult to, I would say, yeah, they don't to foster that kind of culture. It's hard. It's not really something that we accustomed to it. We
Yeah, of
are, but
course.
but they're not really. I don't know. That's just
And
my experience with it.
and also like if you're in the compliance, you'd mostly deal with like government departments. It's not like SARS gonna call you back and say, "Hey, you did a great job, thank you." They'd never they'd
Yes,
never
it's
do that. They'd
true.
be
It's
like,
more right or wrong, or what can be done or what can't be done.
"Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
kind of thing that we have. We fixing things or fixing problems, you
of
know.
course, of
Um,
course."
and of course, everyone should be recognized for bringing their part. I mean, it's hard work sometimes, and everyone feels valued that way. So
Mm,
I agree. There is I feel like that is a big thing that a lot of maybe companies miss out on.
mm,
And I get also, the virtual space, it does have play an impact. It does,
yeah,
it does, it does have a huge
definitely does.
impact there on that.
But we must start taking advantage of the technologies we have to to
True.
to catch us where we fall short in these areas.
Yep.
But I think I like what you're talking about. There's a lot of room for discussion in that. And I'm gonna leave that. We'll come back to that later. There's a lot to be built on in that. And what I want you to do when you answer your assignments and do your work, I want you to try and incorporate elements of your workplace, of your department. Obviously, don't go violating any kind of of the policies, or don't share trade secrets or any of that.
Mm,
Don't share customer details, none of that. Don't violate POPIA, or just give an example. Use your
mm,
organization's challenges as examples for things you can use the tools and the concepts we discussed in the classes to solve. I do that often with my stuff as a student, and it helps me grasp the concepts and tools we're talking about a lot better. So I want you to challenge yourself and use, your department or your workplace as the perfect example. Okay.
yep.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Thank you. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I saw that we had some comments in the chat. So someone said that we can see a lot of compliments on Hello Peter, but you can also see a lot of complaints. I mean, I've been posting quite a few since I heard we're going to be training you. As I said, break spirits, I'm not, yeah. So, but yeah, that's very true. Hello Peter is a great place for compliments. Okay, cool.
True.
So I'm going to keep going. So we're looking at also how we can improve process processes. So if you look at time-based process mapping, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this concept, time process mapping, time-based process mapping. It's where you map out a process, an entire process from start to end. You work out the time that's allocated to each of those tasks, and you look at key areas where you can curtail or cut the time a little shorter so that you can better improve what we're doing in each of these processes. And that's one of the tools I'm talking about. Is every step in the process we follow necessary, or are we wasting time with certain steps? These are questions we need to ask. These are critical questions. And it's part of critical evaluation and critical thinking when looking at these processes that we deal with. Okay, then the next one is quite obvious: communication and collaboration. We're looking for active listeners. We want people who listen to actually hear what you're saying, and not just to listen so they can move on to the next thing. And we also want to look at like Tuckman's model, for building teams, for building collaboration in teams. We want to look at all sorts of change management tools, to ensure that teams are not being broken. There's so many different tools and models and things we can look at in the space of communication and collaboration. And again, I'm going to try and put as much of this in the slides and into the discussions for you when you get to these points. Then we have compliance and risk management, which we've just touched on with Nicolette. There again, what I want us to look at is how we can use some of the tools in project management, because project management's approach to risk management is actually really interesting. I always think it's the most dynamic approach to risk management. So the project managers don't believe that risks are stagnant. So when you document a risk, project managers believe that it can change. The risk becomes worse or it becomes less as time passes. And you'll see that how they document risk management and project management is they try to accommodate for this by looking at each risk at different phases in a project's life cycle. And I know that that's not always possible, but we can always look at the life cycle of a process, from start to end, and we can put our risks on that map to see where the risks are more likely to occur and where they're actually not really a problem. And just by doing it that way, we know when we have to be on the lookout for a particular risk to occur, and we can implement our contingency or our plan to resolve this risk that is occurring. It's that kind of thinking that I'm looking for in compliance and risk management. Okay, and remember, in compliance, we don't want to harm people. We want to make sure that we're abiding by all the rules, all the legislation that's set in place to govern the space of contact center management. Okay, let me keep going. I feel like I've lost track of time. So what I have here is the program module. So you'll see that in module 1, we have contact center literacy. Module 2 is the contact center communication. Contact center, module 3 is all about numeracy. So these are the basic fundamentals. You'll see that most of our class today, our colleagues, would be able to RPL past these first 2 modules, which means you will not be doing them. Okay, you'll complete a form and you'll be awarded them, so you can skip them, which means your qualification would be shorter than what it would have normally been. Now, that form will be shared, and because of this, we've restructured the training plan. And I'm sure we've seen the training plan and might have been a little confused because it doesn't start with module 1, it starts with module 3. Okay, module 3 is where we really kickstart. We kickstart with numeracy. And I will review the material. I make sure that it's a little, it's up there. Again, it is an NQF level 4 qualification, so I am restricted in terms of how difficult I can make it. But I can also, to counteract the limitations in difficulty, I can make it more interesting with the diversification of models and concepts that are shared. Okay, so module 3 is all about numeracy, contact center numeracy. Module 4 is about customer and service level, service levels in contact centers. Apologies. So it's all about how we do customer services, how we manage the customers, how we deal with the complaints, how do we keep them happy. I want us to talk about the compliments and complaints procedures. I want us to touch on all of these concepts in that module. Okay. Then module 5 is just general contact center management, and that's where a lot of these previous concepts that were shared will come to the forefront. Okay, just general contact center management. Okay, and then the FISA, the final integrated summative, that is, it's supposed to be a test, but I've stopped giving it to employed learners as tests. See it as a big summative assignment, which you have to do. This big summative assignment will touch on all of the topics that are in module 1, 2, 5. Okay, you'll see that you'll see that it's not too difficult, it's not too complicated. We don't want to, to stunt you or make you feel like you're not worthy of the qualification. In fact, we want to have a facilitated process where you're all coming into the sessions and sharing your knowledge, sharing your information. And as we have these interesting discussions, we look at we reflectively look at our organization, look at areas where we can improve, and build our portfolios as we do that. Okay, so this is just the program modules. Okay, and now I want to talk about the assessment tools. So normally in most programs we use 4 tools. So we use a summative, we use a formative, we use class sessions, we use past papers. Now in the context of your qualification, we don't use past papers, so that should technically be removed. We do use sample demonstrations. So if you are confused about a question, I can give you a sample of how the question should be answered, just to give you that guidance. But I try not to do that. Most times I'd rather give you a comment, or I'd add an additional comment saying, hey, approach it this way, or do it that way. But more on the formatives and the summatives. Okay, so the formative assessment is designed for ongoing feedback and learning support. So when you do your formative, feel less pressured about getting it right and feel more comfortable in the process of learning. Feel like you should go out, and if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You will be allowed to fix it. But it's used to gauge your understanding and identify areas of improvement. Okay, it is graded on a scale of competent or not yet competent. So it's quite simple. We look at the whole document as one, and we'll say whether you could be deemed competent or not. And the best way to do this, we look at all the questions. If you've gotten more than 70% of them correct, then we'll give you the competency. But if you've gotten it's always up to the facilitator's discrepancy. But if you've gotten below that, it depends on the nature of the questions. If it's a very difficult set of questions, we'd give 60%. If it's quite simple and you only got 50% of them right, then we'll make you redo the ones you got wrong. Okay. In any other context, if you have to redo an assignment, you don't have to redo the whole thing. You just have to focus on the areas where you made mistakes. Okay. It's a part of the continuous cycle of learning and improvement. It has instructional decisions, so it's tailored for different teaching styles. And you'll see that it's quite vague in certain areas, and that's just to accommodate different types of learners, different types of lecturers. And it's used to nurture student growth and development throughout the course. Okay, remember, our formatives would often include things such as classwork assignments. It could include group work. You could work in pairs, or you could just answer some questions on your own individual work. But it's often it's often lighter, or it's not graded or taken as seriously as your summatives are. So I'll tell you, when we go to verification, we're currently doing external verification right now for some of our groups. I think about 120 learners. They asked us not to present the formatives. They just wanted the summatives, and that's what the CETA wanted. So that's what we're doing. Just to give you an idea in terms of how they viewed the formative is really a space for you to learn, to practice, to make mistakes, to test your knowledge, but not in a way that you'll be graded on an actual percentage mark. Okay, that percentage mark is reserved specifically for the summative assessment. So the summative assessment is used for measuring overall achievement. It's marked on a percentage basis, so you need to get 75% or more to be determined competent. It's used to evaluate your mastery of the course objectives and the learning outcomes. So remember, we have exit level outcomes. You have to meet those outcomes by the time you reach the end of the program, and the summative is used to measure that, especially the FISA for the ELOs. Okay. It is a culmination of learning and knowledge demonstration. So you must see the summative as a real platform for you to show off your knowledge, show off what you've learned, through your discussions, through your classwork experiences with the facilitator, through the things you spoke to your colleagues about, those sort of things. Just show off, use it as a platform to really demonstrate what you've learned. Okay, it informs a decision about progression in the certificate. Okay, and this information about progressing in the certificate will be further explored in the next few slides. I will talk to that. Okay, then we have workplace evidence and log sheets. So workplace evidence is used for you to go out and apply and practically apply what was spoken about in the class sessions. Often you'll find in the workplace projects or workplace evidence, you're required to attach some sort of document that shows you understand or you know the particular concept that is being discussed. So I'll give an example of one. So some of the most common ones I've seen in a lot of our qualifications is to provide evidence of communication in the workplace environment. Okay, that could be an email, it could be a memo, it could be a call log, a call sheet, it could be any of those things. And it's nicely and vaguely put so that students can attach different types of evidence. Okay, and that's nice. It's a nice little addition to your portfolio. Okay, then we have log sheets, and log sheets are very important. A lot of students forget to complete log sheets, and it kind of frustrates me. But log sheets are used to keep record of all the activities you do in the program, and you'll often find it at the end of the workplace evidence part. So you'll attach your evidence and you'll do a log sheet. On the log sheet, you must write about how you attended class, talk about the activities you had to do to get your formative and summative done, talk about any research you had to do on the side, to get it done, any kind of like library visits, any kind of Google searches, you can just put it in there. And then you must also talk about how you compiled the workplace projects, the workplace evidence. So if you had to get a let's say I'm using an email for the communication. I go and I had to what is it, PDF print my my email that I want to use for evidence because I'm going to upload it into my Google Classroom platform. That PDF, the task of doing that, I must actually record that I went and I PDF printed that email. And then you can even include further detail. You can say that sending of email, receiving communication back, PDF printing that email, document the time it took to get that all done. That goes into the log sheet. And this forms a very important part of our notional hours. Okay. Sorry, so before we move to notional hours, I just wanted to share another quote. I love the quotes. I always share them in all of my lectures. But hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And this comes from Tim Notke. Okay, I love this expression because it often speaks to people who are overconfident in their capabilities. Okay, don't think that you've learned everything that there is to be learned. Don't think that you know everything in a specific space. It's never too late to adjust or to improve or to change an approach or procedure that you're doing. Those who rest on their laurels often fall behind. And this will link back to our first quote from Malcolm X. Remember, we're preparing for the future. We're preparing for that new reality that is going to come as a result. And that's what this course is about. That's what this learning endeavor was about. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So I just want to see here. So my slides are a little out of order, but I want to talk about submission attempts and I'll go back to notional hours. So when you submit a formative or summative, you'll have 3 submission attempts to get it done. The first attempt is your first chance to beat the system. Okay, and obviously getting it right the first time is always gold. It's always first prize. Okay, the second attempt is a chance at redemption. So you can fix up any errors you made. It shouldn't be too difficult. The third attempt is your final attempt. Okay, if you are submitting assignments, formative and summatives more than 3 times, if you hit that fourth marker, that fourth NYC or that fourth percentage mark that's less than 75%, you will not get that unit standard. You will not get that particular credit, which means when you exit the qualification, you won't get the full qualification. You'll only get a statement of results. And then if you want to get the full qualification, you have to re-enroll for that 1 unit standard and then do that 1 unit standard and then be exited again for the full qualification. You literally have to RPL for the full qualification. Okay, now, important question, Carl, how often does it happen that students get past the 3rd attempt? I've been doing this for, I think, about 8 years now, and it's never happened. I never allow the student to go that far. Often by the time you've gotten it wrong on the first submission, you would get feedback from your lecturer before you make the second submission so that you can make the rectifications, you can get it right before you make that second submission. And then also as RHE staff members, we are always available to support. So if you ever have a question, if you ever want additional support in a particular formative, summative assignment, you can always reach out, email, ask your question, and we will try to support you as best as we can as you go through the process. Okay, but I've never had a student that has reached the point of third submission and being NYC thereafter. Okay, I've never seen it. I've never had a facilitator that's experienced that. Often the advice and guidance provided between the first and second submission and the second and third submission is enough to stop a learner from reaching that point. Okay. Now, notional hours. So as I was saying with the log sheets, our log sheets are very important because it contributes to the notional hours that is required for every qualification. So remember, for every qualification, there is a credit allocation, a total credit. Okay, and then for every credit you have to accumulate in the qualification, you have to spend 10 hours working on it. Okay, now I just want to confirm the total credits for this qualification. It has been a while since I've seen it. Now I just want to see if it's, sorry, I think I'm sure I can just put this here. Okay, let me just see. So it is how many credits? It doesn't show. Okay, well, I think it's about like 121. It could be a little less than that. Yeah, so if it's 121, for example, it would require that you spend it's 121 times 10. So it's gonna be 100. I just want to get the numbers right. I always mess up the zeros sometimes. So it's 120 times 10. So it's 12,000. Yeah, sorry, it's 1,200 hours. Apologies, it's 1,200 hours that you need to spend working on the qualification. So that's why the log sheets are so important, because these hours are not just spent in class. You never spend all your time learning in the class. You spend time doing research. You spend time reading the learner guide. You spend time doing the actual formative summatives, making your workplace evidence. All of that must be documented so that when we get to the external verification at the end of your qualification, we can go to the CETA that will give you your certificate and say, hey, these learners have done the work. Look at the log sheets, look at the registers, look at the recordings of the sessions, look at their submissions of the work. Everything we do from here on out is used as evidence for your portfolio to support the notion that you deserve this qualification. Okay, what we're doing is we're building an argument in favor of you receiving this qualification. Okay, and then classroom time. So we need to make sure that we are attending lectures. We're not just skipping out. Remember that these classroom times is a great way for us to add 2 hours here, 2 hours there for your notional hours. Okay, you can even record the classroom times on your log sheets. That's perfectly fine. I'll accept it. Okay, and then you must make sure that whatever you've discussed, whatever is shared, you go and you do a little bit of research on your own. Don't just rely or depend on your facilitator to do all the legwork. Make sure that you're doing your part, that you're checking, you're immersing yourself into the body of knowledge that exists in the space of contact center management. Okay, I think there's more. Okay, I removed that. Okay, then you will have to do registers, and the registers will be shared with you by my colleague Nakasani, partner in crime. She'll assist with that. I was trying to screenshot it or screen grab it so I can present what the register would look like, but technically you will be doing registers for the whole month. So you'll put the dates. And I don't know if they're going to update it from their side or if you're going to have to do it manually. And then on the dates that you do training, you have to put an X. And then for the rest of the dates that you do workplace, you put X's for workplace. Okay, and that's just how the services CETA wants learners to complete their registers. And each learner will complete their own register with their own ID number on it. Okay, in terms of the logistics around the capturing and collecting of this information, Nakasani will assist with that. Okay, and then if there is issues, if you are having challenges again, just reach out. We will assist. Don't let it don't get stuck and then wait and expect it to resolve itself. We want you to get it right and get it done quite easily. Okay, you'll see that on the signature, it just came out a bit blurry. I'm really sorry about that, but you have to put a digital signature in if you're going to do it digitally. But if you want, you can also print it and then sign it physically and then put the X's in yourself and then scan it back and provide it to us that way. Okay. And then if you are absent or it's a public holiday or there's sick leave, just put the correct annotation or denotation next to that respective date. Okay. You can even put it where you're supposed to sign. You can put A for absence. You can put X for public holiday. You can put S for sick leave. Okay, just make sure that you're keeping record of everything that way. It is technically your responsibility to do this register because you're doing individual registers and it's not group registers. Okay. And these registers will go straight to the CETA, to services CETA. They don't, we're using their template. This isn't our template. This is their template. We're following their structure. This will be shared with you, I want to say by close of business on Friday. Okay, there's a few things that I need to do for your group, and we will get this all done before you commence with module 3. Okay, and remember, we're skipping 1 and 2. We're doing 1 and 2 at the end for those for learners who don't need to do 1 and 2. Okay, module 1 and 2, that is. Okay, so now I'm going to get to the induction. And again, the induction will be completed on the Google Classroom platform, which I will give you access to. We are busy setting it up, so it does take a day or two to set up, but it's not a problem because this is only the induction. You will commence with module 3 next week, Thursday and Friday. So everyone should have access. Everyone will be on the platform by then. I'll set up the group and I expect there to be 11 learners in that group. And you can all post on the stream. If you find interesting articles, interesting papers, feedback, whatever, you can just put it on there. So yeah, when you do your induction, it's going to be an induction document. You will be required to complete it again. You can decide whether you want to do it physically, so write it out physically, pen and paper, and then scan it and then put it back. Or you can do it online and then just convert it to PDF and then upload it. So how it works is you'll complete your induction and then you'll get a link. And it's a Google Forms link where you can upload your induction. And then when you upload your induction document, you must also attach your ID, CV, and qualification. And the reason why you do that is because the document requires it. Now, we already have some of those documents, but it's just easier if you do it again, and you should have it on your computer already. So you'll see that it's a link, and the link will require you to upload your induction document, which you'll get from me. And then you'll have to amend so you have to attach your ID, CV, and qualification to that after the induction document. Okay, and that is used to kickstart your portfolio. And those are the first 3 documents that we use. It's very important that we have the qualification, CV, ID, because it contributes to the building of the portfolio, especially the ID. The ID is used to make sure we get your information correct for that certificate. Okay, now, I just wanted to say that I'll share all the information with you via email tomorrow, and you'll be able to get to work on that induction document by tomorrow latest. Okay, and then I will make sure we all have access to the Google Classroom platform, and your facilitator, Eileen, will further assist with the process. If we do get stuck, even if Eileen is struggling with the platform, it does happen. I will assist also. I'll be on standby to help you where you get stuck. Okay, I just want to show you what the platform looks like, the Google platform. I want to do a bit of a demonstration of that, and then I'll open for any questions, Q&A, and then we can wrap up for today, because today is just an induction. Okay, let me just see if this is here. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly open up the platform. Okay, let's share my screen. Okay, so I've played around with this platform quite a bit. I've got several accounts for it. Okay, so I'm going to just use, let me just see. So I'll use one of our bigger groups. So when you log into the platform the first time, I can share it to you via many different ways, but I'll share it by using your emails, and I'll also share a link. So I'll share a link that you can click to join it. If you're struggling to join using the link, then we'll use other means to get you onto the platform. Okay. Once you've signed in and you've successfully logged into the Google platform, you will see this the first tab, which is the stream. So the stream is a way we can share notifications with learners. We can share all sorts of interesting information. So I was sharing just the benefits of the qualification. And I often share countdowns to the due date for some of my bigger groups. I will see if we have time to do it for your group. just so that it's there, so that you know. And every time there's a post on the platform, you get an email that says that there was a new post on the platform. You'll see that, yeah, we were celebrating top performers. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're celebrating top performers, and you can see you can even comment on that, and you can celebrate victories as a group. Okay, then we go to classwork. And this is where you'll see we'll put session recordings. So it's very important that you get access to session recordings. You'll see that we have our modules. So your modules will be placed here. We have slides for the session. We have workplace projects. So this will be workplace evidence for your qualification. You have your formatives, and then you also have your summatives. Okay. And you'll see that every learner will get access to their own version of the document. So you just go view instructions, and then it will pop up in the corner, yeah, and it will say your name, and it will say your surname, and it will say your module 2 formative. And you click on it, you open it, you can edit it. Okay, this does require that you work online. And I know that that might be a challenge for some of us. So what some of my students do is they'll download the document and they'll work on it offline and then just copy and paste their answers in once they're done. That way is perfectly acceptable. It's just important that you make sure you actually put your answers in these documents. So I'll open this to show you. There's a place to put your full name, surname, ID number. These questions will be different, so don't think these are, and then you'll be able to answer your questions. It's very important that you put your answers in here so that we were able to mark and grade you, because we can only mark when it's in this document, when it's in the Google document. Okay, it's difficult for us to grade it if it's provided in PDF or any other format. So to get feedback on your submissions and to get nicely marked work, make sure that you follow the platform. If you don't submit it this way, we will reject it. We will reject the submission. Okay, because we want to give you good feedback. We want to also make sure that we have record of your portfolio as you build it. Okay, that's that's a formative. Let me just go back. You'll see that there's also there's learner guides. We put tutorial videos. I create extra tutorial videos just to show them how to do extra additional things. If it's necessary, we do it. If it's not, we don't waste our time with it. But yeah, that's basically how the platform looks. And then you'll see that you'll be able to get access to people. So just people in the class, teachers, and then grades. So the grades tab is not available to students, but you can always get your results on the actual submissions. Okay, and that's just a brief overview of the platform. So now I'm gonna look to adding you to this. I'll create your group and I'll add you to the platform. Just by show of hands, who is not using a Gmail account? Okay, so we all use Gmail account. Okay, I see we have Lizzie. Okay, cool. Okay, so Sandra's Leanne also doesn't use. Okay, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is I'm gonna ask you to create a Gmail account specifically for this course. And for those of us who want to separate our personal Gmail from the Gmail for this program, you're welcome to create your own one. Because what it does is it uses your Google Drive. Everyone who has a Gmail account has a Google Drive space allocation. So what it does is it uses that Google Drive space to store and save your work as you do it. And then when you submit it, it comes to or it will go to Eileen's Google Drive space. So it does require that you have that space. So if you think that that will be a problem, maybe this afternoon, look at creating a Google Gmail account so that you can use it for the class. Okay. And then I want you to all share it with me. So I will post a link in the chat for that. And while I'm doing that, maybe we can take some questions because I have reached the end of my demonstration, my presentation for today. So do we have any questions about the process, about the program while I'm uploading the link for you to complete? I see we have a hand. Let's put this here. Bontle, please go for it.
Just one question. I remember when we started with this, they told us to submit our documents, our ID, our qualifications, etc. So are we going to do it again or we don't have to?
I would prefer if you did it again, because now the problem is those documents sit with another individual. I don't know, because what I'm trying to do, I upload it differently. You know what I mean? Like it goes
Okay.
into your portfolio, and that upload must be done by you.
Okay.
So
Not
like if I have to put it, then I have to get access to everyone's accounts and log in, put it in for them. It's a
all right.
problem.
Not a
Yeah, I'm
problem.
sorry. It's just a systems thing.
Not a problem.
Okay. Is that the only question we have? That was, does that mean I presented well? If we don't have any questions?
You did actually.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was, it's a God-given talent. What can I do, you know?
Are you working hard on your talent? Looks like.
Yeah, just talking to people, yeah.
Very humble, hey? As we
Sounds
can
like
see.
Carl. Yeah, Carl's trying to push a
So
stand-up
calm.
comedy side hustle here. Hey.
Sounds like it.
That's true. That's very true. Okay, so I see we have someone who has a question. Sorry, I'm looking away. I have 3 screens. I'm just trying to make a copy of this thing. Okay, does someone have a question? There's someone who came in and said, Carl. Is it Nicolette? You're unmuted.
Mm-mm.
No, nothing. Jeez. It's like, did everyone listen to the presentation?
We did. Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
No, that's
Yes,
good.
we
That's
did.
good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, so just give me like a few, just a minute. I just want to quickly just share a link to this form where you can put your name, surname, and email, and make sure it's the Gmail account, and then I will link you all to my system so that we can load you on there, and then we can get you done, so that you can start doing the work. You know, this thing is just not opening. Okay, I should change the name. I must say, I actually really enjoyed presenting to your group today. And this is not something I say to all groups. I can assure you, it's your group. This was I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go home and tell my family about it. Be like, yeah, it was confirmed today. I have a talent.
You confirmed your own talent.
Yeah, I know. I was quite confident. So I'm just sorry, I'm a little distracted with trying to copy this. Okay, there we go. So here's a link.
Are you putting it in the chat?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
put it right now. Okay, cool. Now, with that being said, I just want to say thank you, everyone. Today was really fun. I really enjoyed presenting, and I'm excited to have you on the program. Okay, let's do something remarkable. Okay, thank you, everyone. Let's we can just make sure you
Thank you.
complete the form,
Thank you so
and we'll
much,
get you
Carl.
on the platform. Take care.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank
Carl.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Take
so
care.
much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Did Eileen, stay on, yeah?
Yes, sure, no problem.
Okay, cool. Okay, I see that someone is on hold. Okay. So I need to still set up their profile for the group. Hold on. The recording is still recording.